Let's go YouTube. What is up? It's James from Robin Henry Watches. Wristwatch check. I'm wearing a Piaget 9154 in 18 karat yellow gold. Beautiful manual wind watch. It's in the shop.
Why is it still here?
I don't know. Why is the moon made of cheese?
It makes me happy because I get to see it, but
It's not. I haven't even set it today.
Someone give it a good home.
So it's a beautiful watch, and it's got this amazing on the dial. This I don't know what you would call it, but it's these ingrained lines through the dial and the bezel. It's a nice manual wind. It's on a Piaget strap with the original buckle. Yeah, cool as hell.
Very tasty.
Right, so this week we're going to do a Q&A. So producer Gerald,
Seeing as we're not on it today,
shall we talk about my mug?
let's talk about your mug.
Because
What time is it, James?
It's early in the morning. This is how
you won't know because you haven't set your watch.
I actually genuinely don't know, but this is how dedicated I am to the craft, that we're up at stupid o'clock because unfortunately due to travel schedule and commitments, we're having to film at different times and get a bit filmed in. So
it's messing with us a bit.
I've got the hedgehogs.
So let's start with the first question that came in on Instagram.
Well, we've had it before when you bought it. One, because I just don't buy it. It's not a bad beer, it's not Heineken. Also, when we turned up to the studio one day, there happened to be a packet of Heineken waiting for us as well.
Yeah, we're sponsored by Heineken now.
Yeah, Heineken. But yeah, listen, send me some Peroni in. We'll happily drink it. So
In your name.
in your name. Just what in general?
In general.
Well, easy. Right, one a good quality screwdriver set to adjust your own bracelet. Don't trust authorized dealers. They have mangled several watches of mine personally and other people I know. One of the things that you'll see that they do is look at this. It's not great because I haven't got a bracelet watch on today. Where the screws are on either side, that's where you first look for the damage that they've done because they've been hacking away at it and they don't know how to get the Loctite out properly, so they're ramming away at the pins. Then quite often they slip and scratch the case back. Hell no. Learn how to do it yourself. Maybe one day I'll do a video and I'll give you some of the tips that I use because I've been doing it for a long time. I've made a lot of mistakes, but now I don't like other people doing it. And I think I talked about it in one of my other videos just very briefly. I didn't go into the whole situation, but I had a watch personally mangled just on a strap change. So yeah, buy yourself some decent tools. It costs you about, screwdrivers, £30. The other thing which is well worth getting is a good loop set, so you can really, especially if you're into vintage watches, so you can get all the detail on the dial. I've got these really nerdy ones. They're like full-on goggles that you put on, and they've got lights either side, and then full-on magnification, and I look like some mad professor. But the detail that you can get into on the dial of a watch, even the case and around, so yeah, those would be two things I would say is worth investing a little bit of money on. Nothing expensive. I mean, the loop and glasses that I got, that was like 20-30 quid. Same with the screwdrivers. I got from a place called, I think it's called Cousins. It's like a online supplier to the watch trade. So it's a wholesaling website, but it's quite good. Can I say pass?
Yeah.
I mean, they're okay. I've had some. So it's not like I'm going to sit here and like outright slate them. So they're okay if they're your type of thing. What I would say to someone who's collecting them is take a look at some watches from Seiko. They do really great value watches. Their dive watch collection, I'm talking like the SK diver range. You can pick them up for a couple of £100, and Seiko 5 sports range. There's some really good watches out there which don't need to be homage, but I mean, maybe you get if you like it, then go for it. It's not for me. I'm not one of those people that think they're fakes or counterfeit. It is a homage, so I'm okay with it. I've got no like thing in it. They're not for me. But if you like it, then good for you.
Very, very diplomatic. Well done. I'm proud of you.
Well, I'm a bit contradictory here, but I would probably say Hublot. Now, I like them.
Do you?
Within reason. What are you looking at?
Nothing, just a little bit of furniture on your desk there.
Well, exactly. I mean, they're okay. But no, generally speaking, by watch collectors, they're absolutely hated. And watch collectors don't give them a chance. It's just really popular to hate, but it's one of those that they're very easily recognizable, but watch collectors hate on them. I actually personally, I'm all right with Hublot. Their pricing is getting out of hand, so I'm not a fan of that or some of their marketing strategies, but yeah, definitely, I think of Hublot. Hublot.
Not G-Shock.
I can't, Hublot. I just don't like putting on the accent. Hublot. Hublot.
Hublot.
I've had people call it a Hublot to me. Mate, can you get me a Hublot?
Hublot and G-Shock.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them have been bought back. Who didn't? What happened is obviously in the 70s when there was a quartz crisis, loads of decent brands just got buried. But then over the course of the 80s, 90s, 2000s, a lot of them back. I would say I'm going to go with two. Now, technically, they're both still in existence, but barely or in a weird way. Go first with Minerva. Now, this is a watch brand that's been owned by several people over the years. It's still going today, but in a very odd form that they're owned by Montblanc, and all they do is just for their high-end movements. But back in, they've been around since the 1800s, I believe, Minerva. But around the 1950s, that for me was their heyday, because I think I've spoken to you about it before. That I think the Minervas from that time, the movements were excellent, the dials, awesome. So that, I think, Minerva would be one. The other one would be Universal Genève. Now, Universal Genève is still in operation today, but the vintage watches of Universal Genève and the modern watches of Universal
Genève, not the same.
Oh no, they're not. I mean, the new ones are horrible. Watch collectors don't even look at them or talk about them. It's just not a thing. I mean, they exist, but as far as we're concerned, they do not exist.
It's like a shoddy film reboot.
It's owned by some Hong Kong investment firm. It shows in the watches that come out, and they use aftermarket movements, and there's nothing nice about them design wise. But anyway, vintage Universal Genève 40s, 50s. These are some super collectible watches, even from the lower range, the pole router, and just some of their chronographs. There's just, especially one of the things they were known for is their dial layouts are just really well balanced and just beautiful. So although it's still technically around, it's not the same company. So I think Universal Genève and Minerva. I think they're okay.
Face that only a mother could love.
Exactly. I sold a Ploprof for someone a couple months back actually, and I think I did all right on it in terms of not like the money that I made out of it, but like I actually found a buyer for it, which I was quite surprised that I could find someone to buy this thing, because it's a big ass watch, the Ploprof, and for me, I appreciate the design, but it's still kind of ugly to me. I do appreciate the design. Way too big, like especially on my wrists. I mean, it was horrendous. It was like a slab of granite steel or something, just like on your wrist.
On these big Power Rangers morphers.
But I'm all right with them. I mean, every brand's kind of got them. Yeah, the Omega Ploprof. Would you say for maybe like Breitling, maybe the Emergency. But still not a watch I'd wear, but I respect it. I think that's a cool watch.
It's usually designed for like stuff for extreme circumstances, deep sea,
like tool watches. So I think they're cool. Not always for me. It's not things that I would particularly buy, but if you can get away with wearing it, then more power to you. Whoa, don't be so quick to judge. I think it was inevitable that Hodinkee would do this. So many years ago when Hodinkee started just as a blog, then they started, sponsored post advertising, fine. Then they started doing weekly drops of vintage watches. That was cool because it was very in line with their community. Then they became, when they started losing, I'm building up to this by the way, when then they bought, they started being an authorized dealer for several watch brands. And I think that's when their credibility was like
in question,
massively in question. Also, they have one of the, they did a share, anyway, they brought in investors basically. One of the investors in the company is LVMH as well. LVMH invested in Hodinkee, Brands like Tag Heuer, Zenith, Hublot, Bulgari. I don't know. So, yeah, they're an investor. They're selling their watches, and then the final part of the puzzle where we get to Hodinkee pre-owned is Hodinkee buys Crown and Caliber, which is a huge seller of pre-owned watches. It made sense to do. I'm surprised they didn't do it themselves, because they could have. They had the capital to do it. They had I presume they had the expertise.
Sounds like it was just easier.
Well, it was easier because Crown and Caliber, I believe they've got their own in-house workshop with watchmakers and whatnot. So it's an existing business, and they, to be fair to Crown and Caliber, they had a very good setup in how they authenticate and look after watches. What do I think about it, though? Ultimately, I mean, meh.
I was getting a meh.
I don't think it's a bad thing. You're never going to get the best pricing from them. You might pay a little over, but I think what you will get from them is, what you should get from them is a very good quality watch that's been checked, that's been serviced.
Yeah, you get a good
it's in great
experience out of it.
condition, and it should be detailed to you so you know exactly what you're getting. So I do think from that side that's good. Obviously, you're going to pay for that service, but so you should. But yeah, I mean, I guess it was inevitable that, you know, Hodinkee wants a piece of everything. So
The irony that you'll get some credibility from Hodinkee.
yeah, so yeah, meh, whatever.
Meh.
I mean, there's other places doing it, especially in the US. You know, like Watchbox, they're very big out there, and you know, other dealers out there. So was it needed? Not particularly. Is it a good service? Yeah. Oh, OnlyWatch auction. So yeah, that was last week. I think I really like this auction. It's all for charity. I'm not going to try and pronounce the charity it supports. Like most words, I can't pronounce it, but it's for really good causes. And the brands. So what it is the brands are invited to donate a watch and make it unique, so it's a one of one, and that's why they give an estimate on a watch. I mean, a good example is the Tudor. They put in a Black Bay, and they did this dark thing. I think the estimate was 4,000 to 8,000 Swiss francs, and it sold for 80,000. Loads of cool stuff in there. Patek Philippe, they put in like this really cool like desk clock that did crazy numbers. There was some cool stuff from, was it Gerard Perregaux? They did some cool stuff. Blancpain. No, not Blancpain, that's the one. Oh, they did do one. Breguet did a Type XX, which was really nice chronograph, twin register, which I thought that was cool. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, yeah, odd one. It performed mediocre, and it wouldn't be most people's choice, but it was the Chopard Alpine Eagle XL chronograph. And they put it on a strap. It's normally on their bracelet. And the dial was this cool, like, Swiss or French granite dial. And it kind of had, like, not multicolour. I'm making it sound a bit tacky. But it was a really cool finish effect. And I do like the Alpine Eagle. I hate the name. The name is awful for that range. Like, I haven't ranted about that.
It's about 20 words long.
Alpine Eagle. It sounds like some weird 80s like porn star's name. Alpine Eagle. Anyway,
crap superhero.
But the watch I actually really like. XL would be too big for me, but yeah, I thought that was quite cool. I really liked that. There were quite a few good ones in there, but that was the one which I was like, it's not crazy out there, but it's a nice.
It's got its own little niche.
Yeah, I like that. I think, well, many years ago, I used to try and match my watch to my outfit in terms of if I was wearing a, sports jacket, blazer, whatever, I'd probably wear a dress watch as opposed to something else. And if that's more casual, I'd even got to a point at some point where I'd match the strap to my belt, to my shoes. These days, though, I wear jeans, trainers, and a black t-shirt and, well, jumper in the winter. So it's less important now. I think, listen, if you want to do it, do it. I don't particularly follow up with that anymore because I take more enjoyment in knowing what I'm wearing. I don't really care. Do other people really care what you're wearing and or if it's matching to your outfit?
Especially in the post-lockdown life.
So I just think wear what you want to, what you enjoy, do it for yourself. Who gives a what other people think about anything in life? It's not important. So, and I'm on this thing where actually I quite like wearing dress watches with casual / sports clothes.
You rapper, you.
I know.
High flyer.
I know. Next thing you know, I'm going to be having a Richard Mille and,
We're going to make a
Gangster chains.
Robin Henry watches diss track.
I didn't start nothing. I want them as customers. Yeah, I don't know. That would be pretty cool. Who would I pair that watch with? I don't know. I don't really know any. I'm not really knowing what's going on in the world. I work 24/7, so I don't really know what happens out there.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, hit me with the last question. I do my best. The camera's there. It's not natural to talk into a camera, especially when I've got your face hidden behind it, staring at me as well.
I'm trying to direct the eye contact to the lens.
And also in the situation and quite often as well, although I know the subjects I'm talking on, I'm trying to recall my thoughts while still being presentable and talking, and I'm thinking 20 seconds ahead. So I'm like, oh, my thoughts.
Yeah. Everyone does it in normal conversation. This is what I'm saying here. I think.
The other thing is we've got this bloody big-ass window overlooking the gardens and it distracts me.
It is very distracting, isn't it?
I just see people going by or just, dogs running around.
Someone stripping in their back garden, getting weird.
Not in November. I hope not. I do not want to see anyone stripping in that garden.
Yeah, but it's fair to say, in normal conversation, your thoughts float around and you look for them.
And, eye contact, I'm not a fan of it. There's a time for it and there's not a time. This probably is a time for it because I got talk naturally.
But still, it comes easier. But
it's just not as easy as what you would think it is unless you do it and then after a while you become natural at it. But otherwise, it's just it's like you're staring at this weird
blend of a camera and some eyes sticking out somewhere. Cool.
I was going to make a joke about your eyes then if you took your glasses off.
Yeah, that's not.
One eye that way, one eye.
Anyway, that was deep. Well defended. We're done.
We're done.
The interrogation is over.
Cool. I'm out.
Why did I go German? That's not good.
I don't know. It's your show. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you've got any questions, shoot them to me on Instagram at Robin Henry Watches or through the website, robinhenrywatches.com. If you like it, comment, subscribe, put your thoughts to the questions and answers below. If you agree, disagree, want to get into a keyboard warrior argument, I'm sure either me or him will be up for that.
Get rinsing.
But yeah, cool. We're out. So 2014, they come back to the UK. I remember it quite vividly because I got deep into watch collecting 2012-13.
Flashbacks.
I know. Expensive pain. And I remember seeing an article on them, I think it was Hodinkee, when they had credibility. And